Hey everybody, morning Alan, morning Al, morning. Whew, man, it's hard to keep up these days. I mean, SEC going crazy, starting to sue all the exchanges. I don't even know. Things are just unbelievable these days. I think volatility is coming. I think it's evident in the charts. I mean, S&P basically ES coming up at 43.04 yesterday, right in the zone. We may need a little higher peak and pull back, and we may get some squiggles and some squiggles and some squiggles. We're gonna get some volatility though. It's coming to the markets. We're now for VIX to respond. Usually we have to see a swift pullback in S&P 500, swift drop. So that is a high possibility in the coming days and weeks. This could last all June. As we move forward, let me pull up that chart there on this one. I've been showing this one, right here. S&P 500 volatility, right here. You can see June. We can zoom up on it even more. Right there, we usually see some volatility in June. Put it in the middle of the screen. I kind of had it where I could see the percent scale there. So 5%. What does that mean for VIX? 5-6%. Oh, maybe even 7%. Yeah. Let's go look at the chart here in a second and see what that kind of means. So, morning, Michael, Valerie, T Brand, morning. If you want to chat with me, all you gotta do is be a subscriber. Hit the subscribe button. A few seconds later, you'll be able to chat while I'm live. If you're watching this again later, after the live, you gotta leave a comment. I will do my best to get back to you on the comments. And we have a chat going on constantly in Discord, which the link's in the description. It's like $5 for 3 months or something like that. Anyway, hey Francois, Jason, Patrick, Dave, morning everybody. All right, so all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. I may be full of crap. This presentation here is intended to be informational, educational, and fun, because I hope you're having fun. I mean, if you're not having fun, what's the point of this whole thing? You only get one shot at it. So this right here is not a recommendation to buy or sell any financial instrument. If you desire that personal financial advice, you need to hire and consult a financial advisor. When you hire them in the U.S., they now have a fiduciary duty to give you advice based on your situation. Morning, George. Morning, Dan. Morning. Get a nice crowd going here this morning. I like it. All right. Popping over. Let's talk about VIX real quick since volatility is coming. What kind of move is a 5% move? So if we're down here, see a 5% move, that could be not huge. You're right there. But, if we just popped up near, we kept the trend line going down here, popped up near, that'd be like a 77% pop. Back up to, into that zone right there around 25. What am I talking about? Well, let's draw a little downtrend of highs. Downtrend of the highs. See if we just popped up in this zone. Right up, well, even up to there. In the next few days, I mean, that could be 25, 27. And that's pretty substantial. And these are, my VIX chart that I had up there a minute ago is just an average. So we haven't really, we kind of bottomed out here. That's the lowest we've seen since back here in June last summer. Now, what was the S&P 500 doing last summer? Pull that up. I don't know why these crazy alert thing. Whatever. Come on. Back in last June, we were kind of doing this. That doesn't look like not volatility. I mean, I don't know. Kind of weird, right? Well, I guess that was June 21. So June 21, we got to go back even further. June 21, right back here. Yeah, not volatility. So June 22, volatility, and that took us up to June 22 right here. But we weren't at the peak. We were just kind of in the middle, churning down. We look at the long-term history here. Of course, we saw the large spike in March 2020. But we don't tend to just park at the bottom without some spikes. We tend to get spikes. They tend to, you know, this has been a few days since we had the last spike. Be careful. We'll get another spike. Volatility is coming. You know, we won't stay at the bottom forever. So keep it in mind. S5FI. I gotta turn off my thing here. Go back over to the current. I don't even know what just happened. That was awesome. What the heck? What did it do? Oh, I see what happened. There we go. Found the button. The button. Every now and then, TradingView does something weird. I don't know. Every now and then. So we got S5FI. This is stocks above the 50-day moving average on S&P 500. Hanging out right at 50. We got a little pullback yesterday after we spiked up and hit 43. What was it? 43.04, 43.05. 43.05.75 looks like was the high on ES. Right there yesterday. And we got a reaction. Now this can lead to a deeper pullback, but we can also do a little squiggle and go up because we didn't touch the top of the box, the top of the range from back here in August of last summer. We didn't touch that high candle. Came up just a little shy. This reminds me of what the NASDAQ did. We kind of came up, worked it, and then we popped it. You know, we struggled down in here, trying to break up, and then we popped it in 2 days. Parked there, retraced a little bit, and then broke on out. S&P 500 could do that. All right, but we could also see a larger pullback after we pop it. Like if it doesn't have far to go. Quick little pop, and then we can see a larger pullback. Please be careful. Yeah, SEC attacking crypto, and we're seeing some volatility there. Of course, Bitcoin not responding today on the Coinbase lawsuit as much as it did yesterday on the Binance lawsuit. Suing Binance yesterday, suing Coinbase this morning. Coin hitting the list down here somewhere or other. Oh, gotta refresh it. Refresh. That was yesterday's list. Reload, refresh. Oh, look at that. FCO. Bitcoin right there. And then we got coin down in here. And MSTR. Coin getting slammed. But really, it's just stuck in the range. Like, it's not like everybody's like, oh my gosh, it's an epic drop. That's not really an epic drop. Come on now. Don't be silly. It's a much smaller drop than we saw back here. Look, this was an epic drop. Look at that right there. We went from here down to there in 5 days. 63% drop. That was an epic drop. All right. 5 days, 63%. This right here, yeah, Coinbase is getting sued by the SEC. No big deal. No big deal. This right here is not an epic drop. All right. We went from the roadmap line, retracing, already getting a little tail on the bottom there, and up pre-market on down here. So 28%. Not a huge big deal. Back to the low. No big deal. We're just back to the lows. I mean, we were stuck under the roadmap line, hit it once, twice, pull back. That's what that's the pattern. That's why I say don't trade garbage charts. Wait till this stuff is above the roadmap line and go long. More sideways chop. That's what we're getting. More sideways chop. We're just right here at the lows, making a little bit marginal lower low. It is spiking around a little bit, a couple bucks, but that's not. I mean, the low was back here. I did expect it to go on down to here. back in the fall. That's still 50% off of where we're at, or where we are pre-market here. So just keep it in mind. Yeah, epic drop when you zoom up, but not epic drop when you zoom out and look at where we've been on Coinbase. All right, so just chill. On the daily though, it was not a super bullish. This thing, something was up. It was telling you, like, we couldn't get through, couldn't get through, couldn't get through, couldn't get through. That's 5 months, almost 6 months of couldn't get through the roadmap line on trying. Something was up. And now we're getting shown. So MSTR coming back to the roadmap line. Typical. Should hold the lows here. If it gets below the lows, we may see a deeper extension down. What does that look like? Well, let's run a little fib line here. Turn off some of the other stuff over here. We could see it pull on down to 250 on MSTR. Possibly as low as 225. The support zone right down in here. And I indicated that something was up because you see I drew multiple boxes of resistance. We couldn't get up through it. Now we get a pullback. I mean, this stuff's not, I'm not surprised by it at all. You may be surprised by the news, but the number one detrimental thing to traders is listening to news and reacting. It's the most detrimental thing you can do to your trading account. Oil tried to break higher yesterday, getting a little slam back. This actually makes another nested measured bounce type situation. If we look at the move up off the low, right here, and we come up here, look at that, right at the 618. We break back above that 30-minute roadmap line. Game on. The target is like 84 on the move, on the breakout here. Put your alert right up here around 72. We break up above that consolidation, above that roadmap line. Game on. Probably going to 84. You might be like, that's impossible. Well, I've heard that a lot over the last couple years, and we keep hitting my targets. So, gold, also just kind of churning. That daily chart sure does look like it's going to reach down and get that roadmap line. It's not strength, that's not weakness, it's just kind of churning. But it looks like it's a consolidation before one more push down. Now it could go up just a little higher. We have that whole consolidation right there. Whole big resistance. We tested into, couldn't do it. May test into it again, roll down. Just keep it in mind. That's not necessarily strength right now, all right? Despite all the commercials that you see every 5 minutes about buying gold. As I said, Bitcoin finally coming down here, touching the daily roadmap line on the futures and on the actual spot market. Ethereum just back into the box, hasn't reached down to the roadmap line yet. DXY continues to churn as the U.S. government tries to, run scared on crypto and defend their good dollars against the threats of crypto. Anyway, DXY just churning at the top of the roadmap line. Inability to go higher indicates this may roll back over, like we saw on Coinbase. Like, look, same pattern. Rolled down. That's similar to what we have going on the dollar right there. So these patterns just happen over and over. Kind of hanging out right here. Potential to roll back over. All right, Apple making big news still, announcing their $3,500 AR/VR headset with AI capabilities and spatial OS and Vision OS and spatial computing opportunities. I guess was in the developer email I got this morning. We will see in the coming days what they continue to announce. As I warned yesterday, WWDC not necessarily bullish for Apple. We could see a further pullback. Please be careful. It's exciting stuff, yes, but WDC tends to not be overly exciting. We tend to get the ramp into it, which we saw. and then we tend to get that pullback out of it, or into it out of it. Please be careful. Please be careful. MVIS, yeah, at the top of the range there. Microvision. There's some technologies that are probably going to get a boost. Microvision might be one of those technologies. Unity creates software that can run on this new AR platform. If you're unfamiliar with Unity, it's like a software development platform, SDK type situation for developing games and AR experiences, VR experiences. You can program for PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox, iOS, Android. You can make games, you can make software, you can make all these things inside Unity. It's pretty interesting. They have a robust store and all this stuff. This could be this could be a play off of this new Apple Vision OS and stuff. Like if they support that, then this thing could definitely rock it off. It's definitely a handy dandy tool with a nice ecosystem. And I have written games in Unity, so it's a fairly straightforward and easy to use platform. I think I've made 2 games, not really for sale or anything like that. Just my son does a video game competition where you start on Friday night and you create an entire video game by Sunday and you upload it to an international competition. And he's done that since he was in 3rd grade when he was 8 years old. He's now 20, or he's going to be 20 this year. So we've done it for a number of years, and this is one of the software platforms that we use. Another one's called Game Maker, and I participated with him a couple times making my own game, and this is a relatively easy to use platform if you know a little bit about coding. You can use C# and Java, and they support a lot of different scripting languages. I mean, I'm kind of surprised it's not higher than it is. It's been definitely beat down in the last year. And, I mean, there's an opportunity. If it breaks up out of this zone right here, we could see a bigger price appreciation here on Unity. So we do have some resistance from these highs right in here. And if we break out, we could see a bigger move up. ASO. Academy Sports and Outdoors, just, it went on the run and getting crushed a little bit. Probably going to come back. Let's see, where might the target be? Looks like the market just opened. And yeah, we can see a little bit further pull back to about 42. We could find support right there at the 50%, but we could see it drift on down here to about 42. If it turns there, that could be a measured bounce and go up much bigger. MVCR. Potential to break out here. Looks like it retraced right back to the roadmap line one more time. Resistance right there. Medical specialty, biotech. Don't always follow my patterns. GTLB, GitLab, package software. I don't know a whole lot about this one. Looks like it's trying to break out, but that's been a downward go. Is this who? I don't know. GitLab. They don't run GitHub. That's Microsoft. Pretty sure. Yeah, I don't know much about GitLab. If anybody knows, drop it in the chat or leave me a comment about it. Hosting collaboration. Did they spin it off? Agile development. Let's just go look. Nope, it's not GitHub. Looks like a premium code management used by T-Mobile and NVIDIA. Better jump on that. Anyway, I don't know. Code management system. ATXS. Biotech, pharmaceutical, choppy. Caution, not go anywhere. That's just a sideways consolidation. CIEN, getting it slammed down. That can go lower. That's already dangerous looking. That's 3 waves down. The reverse trace up. That can go down to 38, possibly even 35. be careful on that one. CN, core and main. Utilities, baby. These guys supply utility construction stuff. Water mains, valves, hydrants, stuff like that. And potential breakout. Like that's just a big sideways chart, though, from back here in 21. I'd be caution. Looks like if that was the IPO, it made the lower low. This can turn bullish at this point. Probably going to, let's see, and probably going to top out somewhere in here, get a retrace back down here before it can do the final extension, and then it'll get a bigger retrace back to the roadmap line, probably somewhere over in here like that. Probably do something like that. All right, CRBL, no idea what this does. Looks like it got slammed. Looks like investment trust mutual fund. Thor Industries, nice pop, but that's still a large volatile range, and I don't see it doing much. You know, it looks like earnings pop today, crushing it, making money, beaten by 100%, over 100%. But we do have resistance up here at the top of the ranges. Be careful. We've got resistance, big resistance. I mean, that's not just a little range. It's quite a range, hefty range there. Team and potential to break out here. We're right back at the highs. We've been here 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, try to break out, making lower highs. Try to break out. Got to get above that to go test this up here. DLR. Digital Realty. This one shows up quite often. This is a volatile little sucker lately. In the resistance here. We're in that resistance. We break out above that. We can go test this high and then possibly get an extension out to 131, excuse me, 131 or 143. Not perfect on that. There we go. Possible, but that's stuck in the resistance, and it can roll down and come all the way back down near the lows. That's the resistance right there. I mean, it just is. Like, see how we consolidated over here? We're stuck there. We haven't, you know, red candles. That's not green candles. That's not strength. Busting on through. All right, Mongo database popping up. And we're trying to break above those highs. Trying. If we can do it, we may get an extension. It can come up and retest these highs. See these two over here? That's going to be another level of supply that we're going to find some resistance breaking on through. Every time, everybody sees these. The computers see them, the algos see them. Everybody sees these prior highs. We come up there and we meet supply. All right, the algos start selling, and then they wait for a pullback, they buy back in, and then they wait for the next supply zone. NVO looks like it's working its way back to the roadmap line, but this is a pharmaceutical, so dangerous. Rare, another pharmaceutical, just choppy. Maybe come up and fill that gap, but looks like the gap has been resistance ever since it made it. Shop trying to pop, but getting retraced really quickly. That can go on the next run. The next run can take us up to 75. We don't have to break back down. It did leave some gaps down here, and we'll probably eventually someday come back and fill that gap. But right now, the path looks higher unless we start breaking that low. McCormick, nice pop there. Must be selling some spices and some herbs and spices. And we are just churning in the top of the zone. We could break out, but this has been just a choppy, hot mess of a chart for a long time. Not really going anywhere. And we can see it rally on up to 105, but that's not a huge opportunity at this point. I don't know. It could break out of this zone, but right now it just looks like it's going to keep hovering sideways. HOTH. That looks like hot garbage. Hot garbage. Get it? Anyway, that's a pharmaceutical. I'd stay away. ASML, hit the target. Probably going to do a retrace back to the roadmap line. 630 is probably my target at this point. Finally hit the target. Time for a retrace. Probably a deeper one. Coin, as we talked about, just down there messing around. Just more sideways chop. It needed couldn't break out. Tried for 4 days in a row. 5 days in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 days. Couldn't do it. Down. Somebody knew it was coming too. Like, see that candle? Somebody knew it was coming. Somebody knew. MSTR, just sitting on the roadmap line. Expect it to hold here and then probably turn back up. This is a huge opportunity in Bitcoin right now. And when all the fear, all the blood's in the streets, that's when you got to be a buyer. You got to look for your spot. I'm not saying buy now. I'm certainly not recommending you do anything. I'm not recommending you buy or sell any financial instrument. But Bitcoin is one of those opportunities. It's going to go through a halving event into next year. Things are going to get exciting. Things are this happens every cycle. We get exchanges breaking down, regulators freaking out, and then we go on this epic run and people make a ton of money. So just be careful. Ferguson, that's another, I believe that's another supplier for water lines and hydrants and sewer lines and stuff like that. Another construction supplier showing fair profit, not a banger, but and we've hit resistance twice now. If we can break out of that zone, we can go on higher, but right now that just still looks like we may retrace back to the roadmap line, even despite positive earnings. So watch out for that retrace. Could be as deep as that one right there. Could see it retrace again like that. Could come right back to 124. And PXD getting slammed a bit on oil being down a little bit. Just that doesn't look very interesting right now to me. This could turn into a measured bounce type setup, but right now it's just not doing it. It's not making higher highs. It's not breaking above the roadmap line. I do have my alert up here about 220. Right now, not much. So bias for the day. Still expecting a little chop. We may get we may get that reaction I was talking about. We may come all the way back down to the top of the box. We may get a retrace back to 4,100. We may get a retrace all the way back to the roadmap line at 4,000. But the fact that we came up just a tad shy of that prior high leaves me thinking we get another one of these little guys and then a pop. Another one of these little retraces right here. Right off of here. Another one of those and then a pop. Right up to that level. So be careful. Watch out. The account you save may be your own. We could see another one of these. Right off of there. Could come down, like I said, back down to, that's 4,200. Could come back to 4,100 before we see that pop back up here. So volatility, that's what that is. All right. That's volatility. Volatility is coming. It's like winter's coming in Game of Thrones, but this is volatility. It's probably coming. Probably going to see a spike. We resisted the roadmap line twice. We did that over here once, twice, and then we got a big pop once, twice. Watch out for the pop. All right, we can see some volatility taking us back up in the 20s. All right, it's kind of my bias for the day. NASDAQ still feeling extended and looks like it's probably going to come back and retest this breakout zone. That's probably the rollover. Watch out. Don't say I didn't warn you, all right? I will be live again this evening at 5 p.m. taking your request for 30 minutes at least. Lately, it's been lasting an hour, so the more that show up, the more I'll try to do. Whatever it is you want me to look at. So just bring your tickers. Come talk to me at 5 p.m. and that's 5 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell with the notifications so you get notified when I'm live. And come join us. All you got to do is be a subscriber to be able to chat. And we'll see you again this evening. Bye for now. Have a great day.